But as Wakanda thrived, the world around it descended further into chaos.
In 1700, Wakanda prospered despite the ongoing wars in the globe surrounding it by using wooden ships in naval combat.
You!
Sif!
You conniving, craven, pathetic worm!
On March 8, 1712, Sif and Loki shared a bed. During the night, Loki cuts a portion of Sif's hair because he thought it would be humorous. The next morning, when Sif awakens, she discovers that Loki has removed a section of her hair. Upon locating Loki, she strikes him. She asserts that he deserves and will always be alone. Loki is knocked to the ground by Sif after being punched in the face and kneed in the groin.
But Leland...
In 1793, Leland and Ewan Wilson, brothers, planned a duel in New Orleans to settle a woman's affection. Leland, the eldest brother, decides that if they die peacefully, it might still save his family from being torn apart as they prepare to duel in the rain as a hurricane hits the city. He gives Ewan permission to shoot him, and as he passes away, the storm and the conflict are put to an end. Later, it is understood that they were a divine pairing.
他们潜伏于暗中。
In 1809, December 4th, several Ten Rings members assassinate a European political person by slashing him and hurling him over the castle walls during a nighttime raid.
A young private whose name was lost to history was tasked with getting word of the ceasefire to General Jackson and fell short.
January 8th, 1815. Following the War of 1812, the Battle of New Orleans takes place because no one has yet realized that it is okay to put an end to hostilities. The message of the ceasefire was delivered to General Jackson by a young private who died on the way. A young refugee maiden finds him, but she recognizes the urgency in his eyes and delivers the message to Jackson, ending the conflict. Later, it is discovered that the man and woman were a divine pairing.
Our best minds are working to understand this, but as far as we know, in all of history, no one.
April 8th, 1839. In order to select one of them to enter a portal inside a stone monolith, a group of English noblemen who are also members of the Hydra Society gather round. In 1845, Thomas Logan murdered James's stepfather, John Howlett. The mutation in James Howlett begins to manifest. James murders his biological father, Thomas Logan. James and Victor Creed, his half-brother, run away. In 1862, in the American Civil War, James Howlett and Victor Creed fought for the Union.
And his loving nature did not discriminate. He once loved a swashbuckling passionista.
January 17, 1874, on a rope, a daring pirate swings towards Thor. The woman is grabbed by Thor, who then kisses her. Years 1917 to 1918, in World War I, James Howlett and Victor Creed fought for the United States Army. October in 1918, 4,000 individuals pass away in New Orleans as a result of the Spanish flu. Famous jazz clarinist Bobo Smith, Jack Rogers' boyfriend, has the flu, and Rogers decides to get a blood donation to save 12 people, including Smith. He succumbs to the transfusion, but thanks to his divine pairing with Smith, he manages to save 12 lives.
I told you to be sweet.
I don't like him, Mama.
You hush up. You stay out of my hair for the next couple hours.
In 1920, in her home, Agnes Cully fixes a broken radio while her mother Wilma Cully gets ready to greet Bud Schultz. She starts offending her uncle when he gets there because she doesn't like him.
Margaret Elizabeth Carter!
July 5th, 1927, Peggy Carter, at the Carter residence, pretends to be the protagonist in her own game until Michael Carter, her brother, starts to annoy her by snatching her wrist. She is able to defend herself, though, by pushing him away. Their mother suddenly appears and informs Carter that she won't have to behave that way because she will soon become a woman.
No one cares what's in your head. If you were half as smart as you think you are, you'd fix on this.
April 24th, 1928. Agnes Scully listens to her mother, Wilma, and her uncle argue about a younger lady as she studies. As the uncle departs, Wilma tells him that she wants them out of the house tomorrow. Wilma accuses Agnes of disrespecting him and orders her to stop.
Your face.
Police Captain William Dole and 2 other officers waited at Cut Rate Drugs in New York City early in the morning for Jimmy Bottles. As morning approaches, New York City's streets are busy. Tuman and Freddie Malik are employees of Ernest Koenig's Speakeasy. Koenig gets ready to serve food at a later reception alongside Governor Franklin D. Roosevelt. The Roosevelt Party is now established. Roosevelt shows up and acts as though he doesn't have any trouble walking despite having polio. Koenig's employee at the celebration is Freddie Malik. Malik is approached by Viola from Hydra, who identifies herself as the contact he is supposed to meet. In a quiet setting, Viola takes Malik and explains that she worked with his father just before he passed away. She hands him a vial and instructs him to bring it to the docks so that his family's honor can be restored. She only states that the vial contains the future. Koenig spends the entire night at the Speakeasy. With the Hydra emblem on the bottle stopper and the knowledge that the future will be his, Malik places the vial into the bottle. Malik awaits the train to his meeting place. The next day, Freddie Malik takes the train to Hell's Harbor, carrying a vial containing a vital component of the emerging super soldier serum. As Malik arrives, the train abruptly comes to a stop. Malik boards a vehicle with his acquaintance and drives off to their meeting. In 1932, in a tent, the magistrate gave sermons. He is informed by a woman that her son has traveled far to receiving healing from Jonah, so the magistrate goes to assist her son. He impresses his followers by illuminating his hands and using his abilities to heal the youngster, enabling him to walk.
Or maybe even an actress in one of those pictures.
July 8, 1934, when Agnes Cully arrives at the Olympic Movie House, the man in charge of the tickets grants her free admission just because he finds her attractive. Ned Silver approaches her as she enters the theater and tells her that she would make a great movie star. She thanks him since he is a Hollywood talent agent offering to hire her as an actor. She is given the name Whitney Frost by Silver, who advises her to change it. Cully agrees.
I'm with you to the end of the line, pal.
On February 18, 1936, when Steve Rogers, who has now lost both of his parents, returns home, Bucky Barnes finds him and offers to take him in. Steve declines, saying he can survive on his own, but Bucky persists. Barnes assures Rogers that he will be with him till the end of the line and that he does not have to fend for himself. In December of 1937, in the Soviet Union, Dottie Underwood and other girls received assassination training under the Red Room program.